Hello students, we have seen the fundamental theorem of integral calculus, that is the definite integral as a limit of sum. So we have solved integration of x square dx, integration going from a to b, integration of x, integration of sin x, integration of cos x, limit integration going from a to b as a limit of the sum. Now we see evaluate e raised to x dx, integration going from a to b as the limit of sum. Now you know the integration of e raised to x, that is e raised to x, upper limit is b, lower limit is a, therefore is equal to e raised to b minus e raised to a. So that is its answer. But by your fundamental theorem of integral calculus, definite integral as the limit of a sum, how you find its integration e raised to x dx. So by fundamental theorem that integration of f of x dx, integration going from a to b is equal to limit of h, limit as tends to 0, n tends to infinity, h into f of a plus h plus f of a plus 2h plus up to the f of a plus nh, where n is equal to b minus a. Now here, what is f of x? F of x is e raised to x. So f of x is equal to e raised to x. Therefore, f of a plus h means e raised to a plus h. F of a plus 2h means e raised to a plus 2h. And f of a plus nh means e raised to a plus nh. So you substitute in this formula. Therefore, integration of e raised to x dx, integration going from a to b is equal to limit as tends to 0, n tends to infinity, n is equal to b minus a. If there are no terms of n, then you leave this n tends to infinity, h into e raised to a plus h plus e raised to a plus 2h plus up to the f of a plus nh means e raised to a plus nh. So you know the properties of exponential. So e raised to a plus h can be written as e raised to a into e raised to h plus e raised to a into e raised to 2h plus and so on, e raised to a into e raised to nh, e raised to here. Therefore, you take e raised to a common. Therefore, next step is limit as tends to 0, n tends to infinity, e raised to a into h is as it is. So remaining terms are e raised to h into e raised to 2h plus up to the e raised to nh. So this is the arithmetic geometric progression, e raised to h, e raised to 2h plus up to the e raised to nh. So this can be written as e raised to h plus e raised to h square plus e raised to h cube plus up to the e raised to h raised to n. So common ratio is e raised to h and its summation is a into 1 minus r raised to a into 1 minus r raised to n upon 1 minus r, where r is the common ratio and here common ratio is e raised to h. Therefore, is equal to limit as tends to 0, n tends to infinity, h into e raised to a into a means e raised to h common first term, a means first term, into 1 minus r raised to n means common ratio e raised to h raised to n means e raised to nh upon 1 minus r, 1 minus e raised to h. So this is the addition or summation of arithmetic geometric progression. So is equal to limit as tends to 0, e raised to a into h into e raised to h, and you know that nh is equal to b minus a, 1 minus e raised to b minus a upon 1 minus e raised to h as it is. Here e raised to h, so you take the limit of h tends to 0, e raised to a into this term 1 minus nh is b minus a means here 1 minus e raised to b minus a, then h upon 1 minus e raised to h, one term, and into e raised to h. Then next step, you take the limit of each term. So e raised to a minus e raised to b, you are going to take the limit as s tends to 0, so which is free from x outside. You know the algebra of limit. Limit of e raised to h as s tends to 0 into limit of h upon 1 minus e raised to h as s tends to 0. Therefore, is equal to e raised to a minus e raised to b, and limit of e raised to h as s tends to 0 means e raised to 0. E raised to 0 means 1 into limit of h upon 1 minus e raised to h. If you substitute h is equal to 0, 0. 1 minus e raised to 0, e raised to 0 means 1. 1 minus 1 means 0. Means 0 upon 0 form. So, when you have 0 upon 0 form, infinity upon infinity form, 0 into infinity, you apply the L'Hospital's rule. So, L'Hospital's rule means if you have the 0 by 0 form or infinity upon infinity form, then you take the derivative of numerator and derivative of denominator. First step. If you answer, then you substitute the limit as s tends to or n tends to. If you have again 0 by 0 form, then again you take the derivative of numerator and derivative of denominator and again find the limit. Here, derivative of h with respect to s is 1 and derivative of 1 minus e raised to s is 1 minus e raised to s is the denominator. Derivative of 1 is 0, 0 minus e raised to h. Derivative of e raised to h is the e raised to h. 0 minus e raised to h. 1 upon 0 minus e raised to h. If you take 1 upon 1 minus e raised to 0, e raised to 0 means 1. Isn't it? Derivative of this, derivative of 1 is 0. Means you have 1 upon minus 1. 1 upon e raised to minus h means derivative of 1, 1. E raised to minus h is minus h, e raised to minus h. And e raised h tends to 0 means 1, minus 1 here. 1 upon minus 1 means minus 1. So you have e raised to a minus e raised to b into minus 1. If you solve this or simplify this, you get a raised to b minus e raised to a. Here minus, minus, minus plus. So e raised to b minus e raised to a. Therefore, integration of e raised to x dx, integration going from a to b is equal to e raised to b minus e raised to a. So in this way, you find or you evaluate e raised to x dx, integration going from a to b as the limit of a sum. So here we have taken all examples in this chapter. So next lecture we see applications of integral calculus, and first application is areas of plane regions. So we stop here. Thank you.